ask questions about what things are. Because, for example, well, I don't know. For example, these are dental dams, which people don't know a lot about. So if you were to be like, "What is that?" or something, then I could talk about it. You know.
Oh,
Or
okay.
these, I love those. Those are internal. So you put them inside,
Hmm.
and some people don't know about that. And these are, well, me after saying that, I don't know if I'll talk about it. Just jab about it. But
Because you're on social media, I'm sure you know, like, and we could talk about this then, like, how social media like censors certain terms.
yes.
So you're like I'm gonna leave that up to you,
Okay.
like how to talk about it, if that makes sense.
Perfect.
Because I know that like certain words like you can't even say because it's like so like
Yeah, they can
okay.
censor you or shadow ban you.
Exactly. That's what I was like. I knew that that was gonna happen. But
Yeah.
okay. So hi everybody. I am here with.
My name is Mac, like the computer, and I'm your trusty beer educator.
Oh my
Thank you
gosh.
for having me.
Thank you so much for inviting me and just really like teaching me about this world that we have on the table. Like, and also I also want to kind of like piece it in together with like Miami. So my page is about Miami and like the people and like how it like impacts like not just like the people but like things and events. So I want to see how like I can tie this in it. You know what I mean? All right. So we're gonna start with that. What is your page about, Mac?
My page is about comprehensive education, inclusive comprehensive education at that. I really wanted to give the people access to information that you really want to know about
Hmm.
and you typically don't get through typical schooling and everything like that, especially, in our country. So I really wanted to open up the space. And yeah, like for all.
Okay, that's amazing because sometimes it's like very like not just like sheltered is the word and you can correct me with that like or maybe like taboo. Do you find that to be that way like for some people to get that knowledge that they need? Because at the end of the day like those connections, right, that we can call them, how does that work with that like with the taboo-ness
Yeah.
of things?
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's definitely still a taboo topic, even in the age of quote unquote liberation. We're still seeing so many people that don't have access to very basic information or don't know how to ask for consent, don't know how to communicate with their partners or even with themselves, don't know what questions to ask themselves about pleasure or don't even know how to center pleasure in their lives because they just never got that. And in this state of our country, and education is very political, so I do definitely um, always talk about that context. In our country, we only have 28 states that require sex education, and majority of those require abstinence only sex education.
Oh wow.
Yes, which is very reductive because it doesn't even give you any options other than don't. It's quite literally like that scene from Mean Girls that says don't because you will get pregnant and die. And yeah, that's what they're teaching the kids, the young adults, and that's why comprehensive education is the complete opposite of that. It gives you options, it gives you information, medically accurate information. Oh, on top of everything, those states don't require it to be medically accurate. So
Okay.
sometimes they can just be saying anything and giving it to you as if it's the truth, but it doesn't even, have any research behind it. So it's very unfortunate. And it all adds to that stigma that we all have, even ingrained in our brains from when we were kids. You know?
Yeah. Wow. That was like a big thing in and of its own because like when we think about it, like let's think about it in the landscape of Miami, right? Like I feel like maybe the Latinx, Latino culture could have like play a role in that. What would you think about that? Does that like impact like the world of like within Miami? Like is that like still sheltered? Is it still like compressed?
I would say so. I'd say so. Culture is a huge part of it. A different thing for an individual to an individual, and culture is a huge overarching thing within that. So absolutely, I do agree with what you said. And in Miami, all the work that I've done so far has been in South Florida. Miami is a huge part of that, and I talk to people all the time. I do outreach, and they all tell me like, oh, these are things that I never really heard about. These are things that I didn't get the chance to talk openly about, not even with friends or with my family. I always like to ask people, how was up in terms of the talk? Did your parents talk
Mm,
about that? So culture plays a role in that because Hispanic parents, and me being an immigrant from Colombia, I know that very well.
mhm.
They are not very open. It's very much like what not to do. It's very much like te damos con la chancleta, that type of thing. And I still hear that from the young adults that I talk to and my peers. So yeah.
Yeah. Within that, what can we do to really get into that topic? Like advocacy, what like resources. So let's dig into that.
Yes, I love that question because even though sometimes it's bleak, the state of things, sometimes is,
Hmm.
you feel a little hopeless. There are people doing the work in our
Right.
communities. I
Right.
love South Florida so much. I love Miami so much because there are people that get down, and I love us because we're like, I'm going to create an event about this. And we go, and last year, a bunch of people that I know got fired from the education department from one of the biggest organizations that we have here in Miami and in the country that have to do with reproductive health. They all got fired out of nowhere, literally like overnight. And the people didn't say, oh, okay, that's it. No, the people got together on a Zoom call. They were like, what are we going to do about this? So there's definitely people out there doing the work. I always encourage everyone to follow their page. Some people at the top of my head, some organizations are Prevention 305. They offer
Hmm.
free HIV testing. They have a clinic. They're freaking amazing. Reflect Go. They actually
Hmm.
are one of the people that inspired me to get back into this line of work because they invited me to a conference last year. And that,
Oh, nice.
yes, I felt alive. I was like, this is the type of work that I want to be doing again because I did it
Hmm.
once upon a time in school. So it brought me back. Shout out Reflect Go. They're a survivor, LGBTQ survivor. Sorry, I forgot. Reflect Co is a LGBTQ survivor centered organization. They're incredible. They host events. They host survivors groups,
Hmm.
and they offer resources. So amazing. Also,
Hmm.
let's support local Florida Access Network. They're amazing. They have period pantries all around Miami, all around South Florida. They also do a lot of advocacy and a lot of events.
Right.
So, yeah, definitely follow their pages, pull up to their events, send money when you can.
Hmm.
Yeah, let's support each other.
Yeah. That's really great that you talked about all of those things because what not only just the event aspect of it, but like the connections that you guys are able to build within each other in the community, and that's also like what my page talks about of like that community building. How do you see the community building in Miami within this topic?
Yeah, I was nervous, to
Hmm.
create an Instagram about this, and I get emotional because it
Hmm.
really means a lot to me. Um, and I was really nervous. I was like, nobody's going to care, but everybody cared. You cared, and everybody that I talked to is so passionate about this, and all the peers are like, yes, we need this dude. Like the work they do is great. So I do feel the love from the people, even though this work is hard. A lot of it comes out of my pocket. It's not a paid
Wow.
job. I wish it was. I would be looking for a job for 3 years in this because I used to have it once upon a time, but it's hard out here.
Right.
However, communities got you.
Of
People have
course.
opened their arms for me to table at their events. I get so emotional. Sorry.
No, definitely. I think it's something you're passionate about.
Yeah,
You know.
I am. But even aspect, but the community aspect is what makes me so emotional because I really do feel hugged every time somebody's like, "Oh, I see what you do," and I really love it. I really resonate. It really helped me, and that happens quite a little bit. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not an influencer or anything, but the fact that the community members see it, that's what matters to me,
Yeah.
and
It's
definitely have
awesome.
seen that. Yeah,
I love that. I love that you have that community because when the times get tough, things have happened with our government. We could spend hours talking about like everything that's happened.
Yes.
But I think the key thing is that you guys got each other, and that can not only just keep you going with your passion, but also like get you to a point where you're just doing this as your full-time gig. You know what I mean? Like this is your
Yeah.
what you're going for, and the things are looking up. Then I think that's one way of looking at it,
Yes.
right? Because not only just for the aspect of like just giving those funds to different organizations, but also like how to get that info out there. And
Yes.
through social media, I think is a good way to start, because people have that access, and,
Hmm.
and we can talk about access. So that, like, to me, I'm thinking of like what is the biggest challenges that you see right now, that you're experiencing through as you're navigating this with your community.
Yeah, that's a great question. It also ties into the access aspect of it. Completely agree with you.
Hmm.
Social media is a great medium to put the word out there. It's so accessible. We all have our phones, and it kind of helps me sweep through the biggest challenges, which will be, venues. It's a
Hmm.
little hard. It's a little hard. I emailed the library. They weren't happy about me talking about. It's a topic that not everybody is going to receive with open arms, but those who do have made me feel so safe that I'm like, okay, let's go.
Right.
But yeah, there's definitely still a lot of challenges. I mean, the money aspect of it is
Hmm.
huge. Thankfully, community has come through. Like a lot of the resources that I have were from my friends that workers, and they were like, "We're passing this down to you. You're passionate about this. Go ahead, grab this." And I've been working with that for quite a little for now, quite a
Right.
while. Um, so yeah, money is difficult, but we make it work. And venues are difficult, but we have some in our back pocket. I feel like it's since it's starting from the ground up, it's all about building that tool set,
Right.
and that has been the biggest challenge to know what to put in that toolbox for me to be able
Hmm.
to use, who to reach out. Also, the laws of it all that makes it
Mm.
difficult. Some sex educator, like you have to really be careful about what you're talking about, how, and make sure that everybody there is a safe person, that you're
Mm.
walking into a safe space because you never know who's gonna be prosecuted. Why? I talk a lot about reproductive health.
Hmm.
Pleasure and reproductive health are like my biggest topics,
Right.
and talking about Florida, it's not a thing, and people have been getting put in jail. Like people have been
Mm.
getting arrested, people have been getting prosecuted, people do get their chats read. You know what I mean? So you have to
Oh.
be, hmm you have to be very careful about the way you're doing things. But we see through those challenges. We
Hmm.
keep it going, and
Right.
yeah, I've hopefully I've found people that welcome me.
Exactly. But trust is
Yeah,
the key thing.
trust. You said it.
Trust. Yeah, of course. I wanted to touch this, something that just kind of like, in like I've seen on Instagram through scrolling, seeing your page, seeing the community in itself, is the, if I'm not mistaken, the period pantries. Is that what it's called?
Oh
Or
yes.
yes. Or did I get that right? Or do they have a
Mm,
different name?
the
Or
period pen. I mean, there are period. I don't know what you want to ask.
yeah, the pantries that have all of all the goods
Oh yeah.
that maybe are really expensive and not accessible to most people, like, whether it's tampons or it's like, you can kind of like fill in
Hmm.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Period pantries are a big thing that some people in the community are doing. The biggest organization that I've seen doing it is Florida Access Network. Love them so much. They have put period pantries, coffee
Oh
shops.
wow.
Yes, coffee shop. There used to be a four,
I remember
RIP
four.
four.
RIP
Yeah,
4.
yeah, we love four, but they used to have a really nicely stocked period pantry with period panties, tampons,
Right.
everything. Even like I think maybe heating pads and some of
Oh
them.
wow.
Yeah, like those disposable ones. Yeah, I love period pantries. I think Period poverty is something that we not
Mm,
often talk about, but
it's
it's
true.
huge in our community. It's huge in the US. We get taxed an absurd amount for things that we need. It's treated as a luxury product, which
Yeah.
is ridiculous. So yeah, definitely love when
Yeah.
people extend free resources to community members.
Speaking of free resources, I want to talk about what's on the table, and then you can really, dive deep into different things that we have.
Yes. Okay, I love my resources. Shout out to V for extending a lot of these to me. First thing I have is Julie. These are emergency contraceptive.
Okay.
People call it Plan B, but this is the Julie brand. And I have them for free, so I'm the plug. Please let me know if you need some. I like to take them to tablings. Right now, I'm doing a fellowship with the American Society for Emergency Contraceptive. So they have been giving me these. Love them so much.
Hmm.
These is just regular tampons. Um, they come in a little kit, small, medium,
Hmm.
large. So these are
Hmm.
dental dams. I love these. People are always very curious because we don't. I personally didn't learn about this until college, but they're basically a
Hmm.
latex sheet that you put over, and you make sure that you put a little loop because it's completely unlooped, and you make sure that you only wear it on one side, and basically it works so that you can still people, are positive for any STIs, or just if you want to be, have that extra layer of protection and protect yourself while you do oral sex, which I think we sometimes forget about. But it is an option. They also have them, and I really want to have them for tabling soon. They also have them in penny version, so that people don't have to like be holding anything. They just wear the pennies, and you go to town. Love those so much, and they come in different flavors, which I love.
Okay.
Yes, these are latex-free condoms. So some people don't like condoms. That's a huge thing.
It's very true.
Yeah,
I know
and
people.
right, what I always say is that you need to do a little trial and error until you find the one that's most comfortable. And a lot of people have latex allergies, and they have no idea. These latex-free condoms are great for that. Find a condom that fits you. There's one out there. There's like so many types of condoms. Um,
Hmm.
find out if you have an allergy. And what else we have? These, I love these. They are internal condoms. I could literally go off about internal condoms so much, but basically they're condoms that you put in. And I wish I had it open, but it looks like a little circle that you can bend over. It has the instructions in the back on how to put it. And I love it so much because it really gives people a lot of agency. You can put them yourself. You don't need to wait for anybody to have a condom or even have to put them on them or anything. You can put it up to 8 hours in advance in case you're like hesitant that your date maybe doesn't want to wear a condom or is going to be weird about it. You can just have it on. You're like, boom, she's there already. Um, so I love those. They also, I always give this tip to people. They make it so if you don't like the mess up here, this in, and it makes it so that blood doesn't spill out.
Smart. These are things that like I will be honest with you, I didn't know.
Yeah,
I will be very honest. I didn't know. I feel like if it wasn't because of the pressure, like just keeping it under the wraps, it's like when will you know this? And this is to be safe
exactly.
at the end of the day.
Exactly. Barrier methods are so important and not
Hmm.
nearly talked about enough because we only ever talk about condoms. Don't get me wrong, I love condoms.
Right.
People did a lot of advocacy to have free condoms out there. It comes from the HIV, AIDS
Right.
crisis. Super important. But also, it's not all there's out there. There's a lot more resources.
Hmm.
And yeah, I like knowing that you learn something new because that's what I'm here
Yeah.
for.
To share something and go ahead.
Yes, I wanted to share something, not to fear monger. That's the farthest from what I want to do. But I think talking about barrier methods is so important in our community, in Miami specifically, because actually the three county area of
Hmm.
Miami Dade, Broward, and
Right.
West Palm Beach is really, really up there in terms of statistics for HIV and STIs in general. Last time I checked, we were, I believe, in the top five.
Wow.
Yes, so I really like talking about it openly, not to make people fearful, but to let them know like these are statistics that are already happening, they're already there.
Hmm.
Best that we can do is use our resources, stay on top of our testing, and communicate
Right.
openly, not to create stigma, but to be more informed and really know what we're getting into, how we can approach things, and yeah.
I think that's wonderful. I think that's really good to like bring that awareness because, even little simple things like the dance, like, you know what I mean? Like it may seem something so simple, but it just does so much in the end. You know
Yes.
what I mean?
Mhm.
Okay, let's jump into the zines.
Yay, scenes! Okay, my beautiful friend Swanai, shout out to Swanai, gave me these scenes that are from New Orleans. New Orleans, I haven't been, but she tells me that it's a place.
Really?
Yes,
Okay. Wow.
which I love. This one is incredible. It's called Go Fuck Yourself, and it teaches you how to do DIY, which is amazing. I really want to do a series where I try to make a couple of these and post them. Literally like harness a strap. It's amazing. Love it so much. Um, this one, a lot of people can relate to this one. It's a fan favorite whenever I go table. It's called I Can Come, and that's fine. And I honestly love talking about this. We make people oriented in our society, and it can be a little tense, you know?
Yeah.
So it's been interesting to see that almost everybody that comes to my table grabs this and has something relatable to say about it. Even me. And yeah, very incredible. You can find it on Etsy. The artist is Christina Blub. Last one is and he talks all about pleasure and safety. It's really good. It has some graphics. I really love it. And then the last thing that I have is one that I made.
How cute.
Yes, it's called Pleasure is Freedom, which is my whole ordeal. That's my little, like, I would say slogan or whatever, because pleasure is freedom. It does liberate us. And it has pictures of all my friends. It's collage based. And he talks all about how, kind of like the beginning of my journey, how I didn't know. I'm also a survivor of SA, which is one of the biggest things that pushed me into wanting to reclaim my pleasure. So he talks about that a little bit, lack of sex education. And then the second part is like after finding your way, finding your resources, your information, and yeah, you get to, I don't want to say the other side because we're always constantly
Hmm.
learning, but you get to a place where you can be comfortable and you
Hmm.
feel a little more free.
Wow.
Yes,
That's so cute.
thank you. So those are the themes, and yeah, and these are just a couple of books. Teens.
Hmm.
These are some books that my friend told me to have as prize for people. Sometimes I make people do like Lego or something tricks, and Billy Porter's memoir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Take his
So how do you go about making events? You talked about tabling, bringing your supplies, and how do you go about that?
Yes, it's been so fun. I shout out to Dead Disco and Beruca personally. They're an artist collective here in Miami that reached out to me, and that's kind of what started my own events. I wanted to do the page online, but I didn't know how to get into event organizing, which is really difficult here in Miami. But Beruca extended her amazing talents and amazing personality and everything. She really made it happen. So it has been a collab most of the time
Hmm.
with the disco where we would do a workshop together. We did
Hmm.
one at four. That was amazing.
Oh,
RIP,
nice.
RIP four. Yeah, we did one at four. We did one about illness at the Funk Jungle. That was also with the disco.
Hmm.
We did a couple more the names, I forget the names, but
Okay.
yeah, they have luckily been so blessed to have Beruca by my side with the disco, and that's how we have been doing it. I always take my table with resources, my little zines, um, and usually what I will do is that I lead with a presentation or a workshop. I try to make it discussion based so that
Hmm.
people can chime in. And yeah, sometimes I make people do an activity. Last time it was about mindfulness, and everybody did a meditation with me. That was so special.
Oh, wow. I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And also shout out to everybody that has let me table at their events, bottom shelf burlesque. There sometimes. They are incredible. They're every 3 Friday of the month. Go support
Mm-hmm.
local
Support,
art.
support.
Yes. Dyke Night has also been a
Yeah.
huge partner of mine. And when it comes to tabling, we did a research um, racing together. That was nice. And yeah,
Okay.
people.
What is the message to the people in Miami
Oh
and
my
the
God.
communities?
People in Miami and communities. I get emotional. I really love Miami so much. It's
Yeah.
been my home ever since I came here to the US. So I get so emotional. People of Miami, oh wow. Um, you matter so much. We are so strong together. No matter what is going on, no matter the ways our city is changing, we always got each other. Sometimes it gets a little wild, it gets a little crazy, but we have to remember that community is so important. Find your pocket, educate yourself, be brave to do the work that you want to do, continue building the things that you want to build, because that's what makes the city. And yeah, you know the most comprehensive is also part of keeping the community safe, keeping the community educated, empowered. So yeah, I love you, people of Miami.
Aw, that's sweet. So shout outs, shout outs. Who do you want to shout out?
Shout out to my girl Swanai Hernandez from Underbelly Magazine. Not only did she bring us together, but she's also been such a huge support. She has helped me with events, has helped me with venues, have given me a ton of advice as an organizer herself, has given me resources. Um, we're also recently working on a little project together that has to do with
Ooh.
secret for now. But yeah, shout out to her for believing in me and for being an amazing friend. Other shout out that I really want to give is to Orphan Magazine. They're a new South Florida based magazine
Mm.
based in Broward, but they do a lot of work
Okay.
here with artists in Miami. They recently allow me to write for them about queer spaces in South
Oh
Florida.
wow. Okay.
Yeah, and they really wanted my scoop as a sex. So buy their magazine, support them, Orphan Mag, read my words. And yeah, shout out to everyone that has ever come to an event, liked my video, said a kind word, got a resource. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Well, I want to thank you so much for your time and your resources and the knowledge. I feel like I learned a lot and it really resonated with the community of Miami. And I hope that this also educates people to keep reaching out. They can reach out to you. What's your handle? What social media do you use so people can find
My is Pleasure Freedom Fairy at Pleasure Freedom Fairy on Instagram. For now, we're only having Instagram, but we're expanding soon.
you?
I say we,
Ooh.
but it's only me. Yeah, so you can find me there if you want my personal account, which I also there too, is Macskrabbypatty, and you can also find me on TikTok as Macskrabbypatty.
And thank you so much. And I appreciate you. And I hope that you will continue your journey and everything goes amazing for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for this opportunity. I love talking to you. And thank you for everything you do for shouting out people in the community. This is what we need.
Yeah, community,
Connection.
connection, community, and everything. Definitely. Alrighty. Bye, guys.